Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are listening to Heart Barracuda. Now this song is one of those that I have seen the thumbnail running around on YouTube. It made me curious but I never clicked. I have listened to Heart 2 times before, so I know that they're one of the most successful female fronted rock bands in history. I have heard their song called Alone and their cover of Stairway to Heaven, and I can safely say those women rock. That whole band is just something else and I'm super excited to check them out again. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to subscribe. It helps a lot by growing the channel. I'm super excited to check it out, so if you are too, let's go ahead! That is contagious.
Barracuda.
Okay.
Back over time, we were all flying for free. You never promised me. No right, no wrong, selling a song. A whisper game. And if the real thing don't do the trick, you better make up something quick. You gonna burn to the wick. Ooh, Barracuda. Oh, yeah. Sell me, sell you for myself.
I have to say real quick that I love a good pause, you guys know me, and this so has it. But more importantly, her voice, like hello, there is just so much coordination in this band and background vocals, and they all just blend so well together. Oh my god, her voice, I remember that it still surprised me the first time I heard her, and it still surprised me now. Like the power and her range is just insane. And what I appreciate is that she goes to these extreme lengths that for her seems so natural, but then for the chorus she pauses and uses that silent second to add even more intensity. Like from the first second they started, they already had their energy with them. They started and I was like, okay, time to get my dance moves out, and I felt something big for me here, so that is what I paused because I wanted to say that. But let's see.
Ooh, Barracuda. See
Again. I have a similar guitar. I also want to mention that repeating riff reminds me of Western movies. Like, you know when the cowboy is riding a horse and you hear tukudum, 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 tukudum. That is what I'm thinking about right now, but it's very infectious. And oh my god, I love that guitar tone is so clear and sharp. We have like 20 seconds left, so I'm just gonna rewind for like another minute and a half because I love it. This is just an energy that you don't see every day. I love a guitar. And their energy. Wow, that was it. And oh my god, they were just all packing this extreme energy. Like, oh my god, talk about feeling the music. And also, honorably mentioned, I just love all their haircuts. I think I've seen the blonde girl on Pinterest when I was looking for haircut inspiration. Oh my god, they did not disappoint. Like, they just felt so good on their own, but together they felt somehow even better. Like, I was so mesmerized by each and every single member that was playing. Everyone had their moment, but somehow the synchronization was beyond everything. The first thing that jumps out is how clear the musical direction is. There's no hesitation. From the first second, the band sets a pretty clear framework, fast, direct, and built around a repeating idea that keeps everything locked together. That kind of structure only works when everyone is just laser focused, and here every single musician understood exactly where their role fit. No one oversteps, no one drags, and nobody tries to outshine anybody else. It's tight because everyone respects the same blueprint. Then you have the lead vocals, and that is its own story. There's a very controlled pressure in the way she delivers her lines. She isn't yelling, she isn't over singing, and she isn't trying to be overly dramatic just to be dramatic. What she does is push intensity through clarity. She stays perfectly on pitch while she's sounding like she's trying to push her whole body behind each phrase. That balance is incredibly difficult. Most singers either lose precision when they try to go that hard, or they lose power when they try to stay perfect. She manages to keep both. Another thing I appreciate is how sturdy the rhythm section is. Listen to how the bass doesn't wander, it stays fixed on the pattern, almost like an anchor. The drums stay locked in on top of it without adding unnecessary fills. I'll say it again, this band is extremely disciplined, and you can very much tell how experienced they are because they know when not to play. They let the main riff do the heavy lifting and then they support it instead of trying to get in the way of it. That's not common. Most bands would try to add layers or flourishes to make it bigger, but here they keep it firm and consistent, and I feel like that gives the song a real backbone. The guitar work deserves its own mention too. The tone isn't muddy, it's not overloaded with effects. It's clean enough that you can hear every edge of the pick attack, and the guitarist keeps the riff steady, never rushing even when the adrenaline of the song wants to push the tempo forward. And even though, you know, I could get easily distracted by how much is going on and forget to maybe pay attention to the lyrics, you can very much tell that this song is not trying to impose something forceful, is not trying to express too much softness or sadness, but a type of directness that makes the song feel like the narrator is confronting something head on. The way the melody climbs at the end of certain phrases feels like a push against resistance. The vocal delivery isn't passive, it's delivered with the confidence of somebody who definitely wants their message to be heard clearly. And because the instrumentation keeps everything so steady underneath, I feel like the voice becomes the main emotional source. Something I also appreciated was the pacing. You don't get this with many songs, but this song felt like it never paused to catch its breath. It maintains a steady drive from the first second to the last, and even without becoming repetitive. That's a sign of smart arrangement. They don't change sections just because they can. They only shift the dynamic when it actually adds something. I've noticed that quite some bands try to make a song interesting by adding in and throwing in constant changes. Heart did the opposite. They made it interesting by keeping it firm and letting the performance do the work. And also the emotion behind the delivery I feel like was rooted in some kind of frustration, because she was not only delivering the vocals with a certain power but also her gestures. The main vocalist I feel like had a deeper mission. She wanted to express some kind of deep emotion in the way she talked, in the way she danced, in the way she moved her hair, and she kept shaking her hair. Not general anger, but the type that gets created when somebody gets treated unfairly, misjudged, or spoken in ways that crosses personal boundaries. The sharpness of the vocals and the tightness of the arrangement almost gave me the feeling that the band was pushing back against people that underestimated them or tried to reduce them to stereotypes. You don't need any backstory to feel that edge or even context. It's embedded in the tone, the posture, and the way the song refuses to soften itself for anyone. And honestly, the chemistry was what made it work so well, and I noticed that from the very first second. You can tell that this band has performed together long enough to build enough trust. Every transition is clean, every shift lands exactly where it's supposed to be, and they gave the vocalist a solid platform to stand on. Another detail worth mentioning is how this song balances aggression with precision. Not loudness, precision, because it doesn't sound like a wall of noise. You can distinguish every single element. By the time this song ended, I was left not with a sentiment, with the feeling that this band was performing, but with the feeling that they were executing. They walked in with a statement, delivered it exactly the way they wanted it to be delivered, and walked out without wasting a second. That kind of confidence is rare and is the type of performance that you don't need to know what inspired it to be so inspired yourself, because just seeing them feel so great together and have this extreme confidence in themselves made me feel empowered. It's a combination of tight musicianship and emotional firmness that gives it so much weight, and that blend, precision plus intensity, is what made this band so memorable for me and put them on a whole other level that we never see anymore. So yeah, that was pretty impressive, not just for the power but for the control behind the power. Not to quote Spider-Man too much, but with great power comes great responsibility. I am super glad that I listened to them again, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!